And welcome back to American Graduate Day on WFYI. I'm Jill Ditmire. We're going to talk a little bit more about more and better learning. And here to do that with us is Chrystal Struben. She is with AYS. Welcome back, Chrystal.
Thank you.
And Charles Akinbola is here with D.R.E.A.M Alive Incorporated.
Thank
Glad
you.
to have you here.
Thanks.
More and better learning. And this is kind of like getting kids before and after, in between the time that they are in school. And I know with AYS especially, that's what you guys are all about.
That's right. So AYS stands for At Your School, and we provide before and after school care to grades K through 6 right there in the school building. So we focus on math, literacy, physical education, and social development. And we also try to weave in STEM programming and arts programming when we can. And we just provide kids with a safe place to go after school so that they're ready to get started in the morning, and then they have a chance to wind down and get their homework done and get some extra learning once school days end.
And while you guys are in the school, you guys are kind of out and about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it actually complements pretty well because we work with 7th through 12th grade. And so we kind of focus on character development lessons and then experiential learning. So taking them off-site, off-campus, letting them see different communities, letting them see the workplace, letting them see colleges, community service opportunities, and then mentoring relationships. So having some college-age students come in for them to see someone they could look up to and kind of do life with, and then just walking them through the education process and encouraging them to get to the next step.
And let's talk about that a little bit. It's that vision, that giving them a vision from, obviously by the time they're in the 7th and 8th grade, if they don't have it then it's probably going to be even more difficult to get it. But to really start them early and to get them thinking that way. When kids, it's hard just to keep them thinking in the moment.
Well, we know from a lot of studies that are out there, kids who are engaged in high quality programs before and after school are more likely to stay in school. They get better grades, they perform better on tests, and they actually behave better in the classroom. So I would say what we're doing at AYS and organizations like ours is giving them that structure and piquing their interest in some activities and some educational topics that will then keep them wanting more. So I think when they get to Charles, then they have a strong foundation for how they behave, what they're interested in, and just how to be successful.
Because by the time they get to you guys, they're already being just the onslaught of everything from the outside is coming at them 100 miles an hour.
And we really do value being in the school systems as well and partnering with teachers and seeing what are some things that we're seeing they're starting to get interested in and different career paths and different things that can help motivate them. And so while there's so many things, being thrown at them, we have an inside track of where the students are seeing a vision for and what their interest level are. And so we have a good idea of what companies to get them plugged into and for them to see and what avenues for them to really learn how to better themselves as a student.
And I would think choosing those, that's a constantly changing list of priorities too. How do you stack everything?
Well, I think for us, we try to rely on our parent and child feedback. So finding out, I think each program's a little different. So where we have a real strong structure, we want to focus on math, literacy, social development, and health. We also try to tailor what are those additional experiences that the kids are interested in. So even this past year, we were able to key into kind of civic engagement and take the kids to the State House and talk to legislators about the election process. We do other things where we're focused on their community engagement interests. So we collected water for Flint, Michigan, or some kids were collecting stuffed animals for the IMPD when they're working with kids under a crisis situation. So I think really listening to the kids. A program we did last year that I thought was really successful was creating a leadership group with 4th and 5th graders, and they kind of then, engaged with the younger kids to find out what the younger kids were interested in. So really, I think you got to tailor the program to what the kids' interests are, because that's the best way to kind of get them going down the right path.
And kind of cultivating that sense of empathy too, that is really important when they hit that 7th through 12th grade.
Absolutely. One of the things that we do that kind of helps us touch base on the character development piece and the experiential learning piece and mentoring piece is during the Christmas time we'll do what's called Dream Christmas. And so our scholars are paired up with a child in the city that they can shop for and get gifts for, and they kind of have the child's wish list. And so they're starting to think outside of themselves, and what does it look like to give back? What does it look like to think for somebody else instead of myself? And so they'll shop for the child, and then they'll work with some companies to wrap the gifts, and then a later time there'll be a party and they actually meet the kid and they get to host them at an event at the Colts complex. And so that's kind of one of those things that we say, how can we touch base on multiple pillars at the same time and get them excited?
To create a well-rounded child. You guys are doing a great job. Thanks for sharing with us today. And remember, you can do something as well. You can visit amgrad.wfyi.org, follow us on Twitter at #AmGradIndy, and stay tuned for more American Graduate Day here on WFYI.